The 19th century Russian esotericist Elena Petrovna von Hahn, more popularly known as Madame Blavatsky or HPP, came from a noble family in Ukraine. As a child, Madame Blavatsky would often have visions and displayed clairvoyance, as well as other metaphysical phenomena. Years later, she traveled throughout Europe and the Middle East studying under various teachers and Sufi saints. While in London, United Kingdom, she met one special teacher, an Indian yogi named Master Moria, who later directed her to go to New York in the United States. Once there, she founded the Theosophical Society in 1875 with other like-minded individuals. Theosophy, meaning divine wisdom, refers to an experiential knowledge that comes through spiritual, not intellectual means. The Theosophical Society strived to study this wisdom underlying all the religions and promoted the universal brotherhood of humanity. The movement gained much international support. Madame Blavatsky wrote several important books on theosophy, including Isis Unveiled, The Secret Doctrine, The Key to Theosophy, and The Voice of the Silence. In 1885, she started to write The Secret Doctrine, which was finally published 3 years later in 1888. The Secret Doctrine has been acknowledged by many as one of the most remarkable books in the world. It is considered to be the Bible of Theosophy, the source book of the esoteric tradition that outlines the fundamental tenets of the secret doctrine of the past ages. Published as 2 volumes during her lifetime, The Cosmogenesis and Anthropogenesis, The Secret Doctrine explains the origin and evolution of the universe and of humanity through an account of root races dating back millions of years. Although the writer of The Secret Doctrine, Madame Blavatsky, often expressed that she was only the compiler of ancient wisdom that was passed on to her. The true authors of the work were her teachers, the Mahatmas, or great souls, who were the guardians of the secret wisdom of the ages. We will now share with you from The Secret Doctrine, Cosmogenesis, the 7 creations. There was neither day, nor night, nor sky, nor earth, nor darkness, nor light, nor any other thing, save only one, unapprehensive by intellect, or that which is Brahma and Pons, spirit, and Pradhana, matter. In Vishnu Purana, Parashara says to Maitreya, his pupil, I have thus explained to you, excellent Muni, 6 creations. The creation of the Arvaksrutas, beings, was the 7th, and was that of man. The 7 creations are found in almost every Purana. They are all preceded by what Wilson translates as the indiscrete principle, absolute spirit, independent of any relation with objects of sense. They are 1. Mahatattva, the universal soul, infinite intellect or divine mind. 2. Tanmatras, Bhuta or Bhutasarga, elemental creation, the first differentiation of universal indiscrete substance. 3. Indriya or Aindriyaka, organic evolution. These 3 were the Prakrita creations, the developments of indiscrete nature, preceded by the indiscrete principle. 4. Muhya, the fundamental creation of perceptible things, was that of inanimate bodies. 5. Tairyagonia, or Triyaksrutas, was that of animals. 6. Urtvasrutas, or that of divinities. 7. Arvaksrutas, was that of man. This is the order given in the exoteric texts. According to esoteric teaching, there are 7 primary and 7 secondary creations. The former being the forces self-evolving from the one causeless force, the latter showing the manifested universe emanating from the already differentiated divine elements. Esoterically as well as exoterically, all the above enumerated creations stand for the 7 periods of evolution, whether after an age or a day of Brahma. This is the teaching par excellence of occult philosophy, which, however, never uses the term creation, nor even that of evolution, with regard to primary creation, but calls all such forces the aspects of the causeless force.
In the Bible, the 7 periods are dwarfed into the 6 days of creation and the 7th day of rest, and the Westerns adhere to the latter.
In the Hindu philosophy, when the active creator has produced the world of gods, the germs of all the undifferentiated elements and the rudiments of the future senses, the world of noumena, in short, the universe remains unaltered for a day of Brahma, a period of 4,320,000,000 years. This is the 7th passive period of the Sabbath of Eastern philosophy, following 6 periods of active evolution. In the Shatapatha Brahmana, Brahma, neuter, the absolute cause of all causes, radiates the gods. Having radiated the gods through its inherent nature, the work is interrupted. In the first book of Manu, it is said, at the expiration of each night, Pralaya, Brahma, having been asleep, awakes, and through the soul energy of the motion, causes to emanate from itself the spirit or mind, which in its essence is, and yet is not. In the Sefer Yetzirah, the Kabbalistic book of creation, evidently re-echoed the words of Manu. In it, the divine substance is represented as having alone existed from the eternity, boundless and absolute, and as having emitted from itself the Spirit. One is the Spirit of the living God, blessed be His name, who lives forever, voice, spirit, and word. This is the Holy Spirit, and this is the Kabbalistic abstract Trinity, so unceremoniously anthropomorphized by the Fathers. From this triple one emanated the whole cosmos. First, from one emanated number 2, or air, the creative element, and then number 3, water, proceeded from the air. Ether, or fire, completes mystic 4, the Arba'il. In the Eastern doctrine, fire is the first element, ether synthesized in the whole, since it contains all of them. The first creation.
Mahatattva creation, so called because it was the primordial self-evolution of that which had to become Mahat, the divine mind, conscious and intelligent, esoterically the spirit of the universal soul. Worthiest of ascetics, through its potency, the potency of that cause. Every produced cause comes by its proper nature.
And again, seeing that the potencies of all beings are understood only through the knowledge of that Brahma, which is beyond reasoning, creation, and the like, such potencies are referable to Brahma. That then precedes the manifestation. The first was Mahat, says Linga Purana, for the one that is neither first nor last, but all. Exoterically, however, this manifestation is the work of the Supreme One, a natural effect rather of an eternal cause, and esoteric philosophy renders it the operating law. The second creation. Bhuta was of the rudimental principles, or tanmatras, hence termed the elemental creation, or Bhuta Sarga. It is the period of the first breath of the differentiation of the pre-cosmic elements, or matter. Bhutati means the origin of the elements, and precedes Bhuta Sarga, the creation, or differentiation of those elements in primordial Akasha, chaos, or vacuity. In the Vishnu Purana, it is said to proceed along and belong to the triple aspect of Ahankara,
translated egotism, but meaning rather that untranslatable term I amness, that which first issues from Mahat, or divine mind, the first shadowy outline of selfhood. The pure Ahankara becomes passionate and finally rudimental or initial. It is the origin of conscious, as of all unconscious being, though the esoteric school rejects the idea of anything being unconscious, save on our plane of illusion and ignorance.
At this stage of the second creation, the second hierarchy of the Manus appear, the Dyangchohans, or Devas, who are the origin of form, Rupa, the Chitrashihandinas, bright-crested, or Rikshas, those rishis who have become the informing souls of the 7 stars of the Great Bear. In astronomical and cosmogonical language, This creation relates to the fire mist period, the first stage of cosmic life, after its chaotic state when atoms issue from Leia. The third creation. The third or Indriya creation was the modified form of Ahankara, the conception of I, from Aham, I, termed the organic creation, or creation of the senses, Aindriyaka. These three were the Prakrita creation, the discrete developments of indiscrete nature preceded by the indiscrete principle. Preceded by ought to be replaced here with beginning with Buddhi, for the latter is neither a discrete nor an indiscrete quantity, but partakes of the nature of both in man as in cosmos, a unit or human monad on the plane of illusion, when once freed from the three forms of Ahankara and liberated from its terrestrial manas, Buddhi indeed becomes a continued quantity, both in duration and extension, for it is eternal and immortal. The third creation, abounding with the quality of goodness, is termed Urtvasrutas. The Urtvasrutas creation is referred to as the sixth creation, or that of the divinities. This shows plainly that earlier as well as later Manvantaras have been purposely confused to prevent the profane from perceiving the truth. This is called incongruity and contradictions by the Orientalists. The three creations beginning with the intelligence are elemental, but the six creations which proceed from the series of which intellect is the first are the work of Brahma. Here, creations mean every way stages of evolution. Mahat, intellect or mind, which corresponds with manas, the former being on the cosmic and the latter on the human plane, stands here too, lower than Buddhi or supra-divine intelligence. Delightful viewers, thank you for your company on today's From the Secret Doctrine, Cosmogenesis, the Seven Creations, Part 1 of 2, on Words of Wisdom.